The day before Doomsday, I was holding my N+1 severance pay, shopping like crazy in a big supermarket. The reason? My parents finally finished renovating the villa in our rural hometown, and I was unfortunately laid off by the company I had worked hard for 5 years. Unexpectedly, this misfortune gave me a solid fortress and abundant supplies for the Doomsday, the day I was laid off.
The boss told me that the compensation from Inkfish Company was quite sincere, and it was best to part on good terms, leaving some dignity for both sides. In the future, if we meet in this industry, it won't be too awkward.
Too embarrassing. The words sounded nice, but wasn't it just because the big boss's daughter and my leader, who was also my boyfriend, hit it off and were eager for me to step down? What a joke. Who would bother with a jerk like that? I took the money and left swiftly. Just in time, with 3 months until the new year, I could go back home to accompany my parents and take a break. Although I had already stocked up on daily necessities during the Double 12 sale, thinking about the inconvenient muddy road back home, where even picking up a package takes an hour's drive, I felt I could buy more. After finishing a round of shopping, I drove my old car back to the villa in my hometown. Although it was built 2 years ago, it was my first time coming back to see it. I was shocked when I saw it. Wow, this yard over 500 square meters, walls over 2 meters high, a reinforced door, and an electric fence. Isn't this a prison? Mom, what's with these walls and this door? I picked up my jaw from the ground and looked around. The front yard had 5 or 6 neatly arranged vegetable beds, lush with various vegetables. In the southeast corner, there was a small fish pond with many snails and flying fish. Oh, and also,
it's because of that jerk from the Zhang family next door.
The son of the Zhang couple is named Zhang Yaozu, spoiled beyond belief. At a young age, he's already been to juvenile detention several times. Every time I came home, he would whistle and follow me. Later, he was sentenced to 5 years for intentional injury. Thinking of his malicious gaze, I couldn't help but shiver.
Cold War. He used to climb over the wall into our house and pried open your dad's safe. Luckily, the safe was just a cheap gift from the renovation company, and there was nothing inside. He didn't get any money, so he smashed all our windows. Your dad and I went to the police, but that jerk had already run away. His parents even came to our house to make a scene, saying we called the police and drove their son away. Later, your dad and I decided that we couldn't afford to provoke them, so we built the yard like this. We even replaced the windows with bulletproof glass. I heard he escaped to Southeast Asia, that chaotic foreign place.
Hearing this made my eyes well up. These years, I've been busy working outside and haven't cared enough for my parents. Mom, why didn't you tell me about such a serious matter? If I had known earlier, when that jerk got out, I would have brought you to the city. The more I talked, the angrier I got, and suddenly my stomach started cramping. Mom, where's our bathroom? I think my period just started. Let's go.
I'll take you there. Where's Dad?
Why haven't I seen him at home? Your dad?
He went out early in the morning, said he was going to pick up an old friend to come over and play. You go rest for a bit, and later help me organize things.
It's okay. I'm not tired. I followed my mom to the basement and was once again shocked by the neatly arranged shelves in the basement. The shelves were densely packed with large packages of grains, oils, rice, flour, and various household items, even an entire shelf of sanitary pads. Mom, why did you buy so many sanitary pads? They're expensive. Not expensive, a pack of 10 sanitary pads.
Single digits to get them. That's why I stocked up so much, and there are 2 of us using them.
I saw a few large freezers in the corner and a big pile of unopened delivery boxes on the floor. Mom, why did you buy so much? It's not that.
Is there an online sale? You know, after the new year, we're going to have a housewarming party. Before and after the new year, these things will all go up in price, so it's better to buy them now while there's a discount.
Stocking up is cost-effective. The 2 of us kept our heads down organizing until noon. After lunch, my dad still hadn't come back. I went upstairs and took a nice, relaxing shower. When I was all set and took out my phone to scroll through videos, I saw a big headline on a short video platform. Zombie siege. The end is near. An unknown virus similar to zombies is spreading in our city. Citizens, please take precautions and do not go out unless necessary. Various bloody and terrifying zombie attack videos, one after another. It's December, not April Fool's Day. When I opened WeChat, the neighborhood group chat was already buzzing. I heard that someone with rabies bit people on the pedestrian street. A message, a video, made me have to believe that the end really came. I was just about to call my dad and tell him
To come back when I heard the car horn.
there are dangers outside the voice.
Zombies are biting people. I went out in the morning, first to the courier station to pick up a package, then to the highway entrance to pick up Old Lee. I was sitting in the car when I saw his car coming. Who knew? When he stopped at the toll booth, Old Lee suddenly jumped out of the car and rushed straight at the young girl collecting the toll. Later, other staff came, but none of them could hold him back, not to mention Old Lee's illness, even if he were 20 years younger. He couldn't have had such strength. Moreover, that young girl also suddenly started shaking people, so I immediately thought of the zombies in the movies. Dad.
Not zombies, but the undead. Oh, right, the undead. Dad finished speaking, covered his face, and started crying silently. A lifelong friend passing away in such a manner right before his eyes was truly heartbreaking. I guess Uncle Lee was attacked at the service area. Judging by this situation, at the latest by tonight, there will definitely be undead appearing in our area. There's no time. I immediately got up, went to the second floor living room, found the computer from Woshan University and the old TV from home, then shook my father out of his grief and had him put the surveillance footage on the big screen. Then I ran to the basement to see if there was anything that could be used as a weapon. After searching for a long time, I found only an axe and 2 machetes, barely usable. Then, I suddenly noticed 20-something boxes of white liquor next to me. These were for my dad to entertain guests with. I pulled over a small cart and moved the liquor upstairs. Watching the video, I made a few simple Molotov cocktails. When I got to the second floor, I found that Dad had already connected all the wires, and the surveillance videos from all directions were clearly displayed on the screen. I took stock of the supplies. Thanks to Mom, the food stored in the basement is enough for us to eat until the year after next. Plus, we have such a large vegetable garden. As for water, our house has 3 water pipes. One is the village tap water, but we can't rely on it. It will definitely stop in a few days. Fortunately, there was a well in the yard, and a spring water pipe connected from the orchard. As for the shop, when we just started renovating, a relative who sells solar photovoltaic panels came to promote them, and my dad, without much thought, let them install it. By the time everything was done, it was already 8 in the evening. Mom, just eat something simple. After eating, our family sat in the living room on the second floor, watching the surveillance video. Our house is in a somewhat remote area, a bit far from the main road. There haven't been any zombies yet, and we don't have any relatives to contact. Both my parents are only children, and my grandparents have long passed away. Just in case, I gave my parents a heads up, as people can be unpredictable. We can save one, but not a group. In indifference, preserving ourselves is most important. My parents understood. I went back to my room, moved out my gaming chair, and told my parents that from tonight, I would take the night shift, Dad would take the day shift, and Mom would take care of our daily needs. After discussing, I sent them off to bed. Now we have all the basic survival supplies we need. What's left is entertainment. I took out the tablet and all the spare phones and started downloading various shows. After setting up the TV shows and movies, I watched the surveillance while browsing videos. Online, people are either seeking help to get supplies or trying to attract attention for traffic. Suddenly, a post caught my attention. The author was called Unprofessional News Dog. The post analyzed that, based on existing information, this zombie outbreak is global, and Western countries have already experienced it. Domestically, the reduction in international flights due to the pandemic has sustained us until now. He also mentioned that he noticed zombies abroad very early on. Because on foreign websites, these videos were often treated as prank videos, no one believed them, and no one dealt with them. He said he was always troubled. Knowing the disaster was coming, others not only didn't believe him, but also called him crazy. I also saw an ID called Survivor Tribe, posting a picture of a warehouse full of supplies, with the address attached below. It was at a certain university in the city, calling for survivors to gather together to resist the zombies and rebuild their homes as soon as possible. It's too idealistic. A few students who only know theory can't do it. Moreover, who can guarantee that everyone is as passionate about saving the country and its people as these students? Having resources isn't a crime, but flaunting them is. A group of students unaware of the dangers of society having so many supplies and letting others know is a mistake. I could only silently pray for them. The night passed without incident. Until dawn, I suddenly heard my mom's anxious voice. My mom and I searched through the cabinets and only found a bunch of masks, disinfectant, diarrhea medicine, and a few boxes of herbal medicine. No fever reducers. My mom could only repeatedly wipe my dad's body to cool him down. Fortunately, by dusk, my dad's temperature finally dropped. I breathed a sigh of relief. I went to the vegetable garden, picked some greens, and cooked a pot of vegetable porridge. After drinking the porridge, Dad went to sleep. In the evening, Mom suggested she would watch the first half of the night, and I would take over the second half. Mom, it's fine. When I was working on projects, staying up for several nights in a row was normal. Staying up 2 nights is nothing. When you're working,
I don't interfere, but at home, you have to listen to me. What if you ruin your health? I heated up some milk for you. It's on your bedside. Go drink it.
all right, go to sleep. I couldn't argue with him, so I had to go back to my room to sleep. I obediently drank the milk and went to bed. Dad's illness made me realize how important it is to maintain a healthy body. We don't have medicine, and we don't get sick. It seems like tomorrow we need to make a fitness plan. When I woke up, it was already 7 in the morning. Dad was already up. Get up.
Today, Dad made breakfast. Come on.
Have some. Although Dad still looks a bit haggard, his spirits are quite good. Dad, how are you feeling? Didn't Mom say she'd call me?
To switch shifts. It's okay. Your dad is fine now. I'll go to sleep in a bit. I promise I won't hold you 2 back. But I think we don't need to stay up all night on watch. I just went to the rooftop to check, and there are only zombies near the main road in our village. Our home is still safe for now. Besides, don't the surveillance cameras have an alarm function? We can sleep with our phones on, and if any zombies come near, we'll know.
Alright, fine. What I'm really afraid of now isn't zombies but people. By the way, Mom, when you stocked up on so much food, did anyone see you?
No, the owner of this oil shop on the street has known your dad for over 10 years. I bought so much online this time, I'm afraid the owner saw it. It's awkward. I was all covered up, and the rain didn't let up when I brought it back. If anyone asked, I just said it was fertilizer for the orchard. No one should have noticed.
After that, I had a good breakfast, and Mom and Dad went to rest. I sat in front of the monitor and reopened the post I saw the night before. The survivor community was bustling, and the comments were mostly accusations and curses. It seems someone really followed the address and went there, only to be turned away and have all their supplies taken. Someone even said his girlfriend got in, but he couldn't. It seems some people managed to get in first. Maybe the original group of students has already been taken over by them. Suddenly, I smelled smoke. I couldn't see it on the monitor. I carefully pulled back the curtain and saw that the village seemed to be on fire, with thick smoke and flames shooting up. I quickly ran to the third floor. It was the village center, the old mute's old house. Many zombies were also gathering towards the fire's center. I heard many people calling for help. At this moment, Dad also came up, holding a pair of binoculars. I took the binoculars and saw someone quickly darting out from the alley behind the old mute's house. This person had yellow hair. The yellow-haired person took out a small speaker, turned it on, threw it on the ground, and left without looking back. This yellow-haired guy looked familiar, but I couldn't remember where I'd seen him before. However, with such a big commotion, all the zombies in the village gathered at the center. This way, we, who are on the outskirts of the village, are even safer. But this also means that the number of zombies in the village will definitely explode. So, it's only a matter of time before the zombies spread near our home. I was worried.
Looking at Dad, that was a notorious troublemaker from the neighboring village, around 15 or 16 years old, who didn't go to school and always followed Zhang Yaozu around. As soon as Dad mentioned it, I remembered.
He harassed my deskmate. Oh no, if the yellow-haired guy is here, then Zhang Yaozu must be back too. Sure enough, a small car took advantage of the zombies gathering at the village center and quickly drove through, stopping in front of Zhang's house. 5 people got out of the car. Zhang Yaozu, the yellow-haired guy, 2 unfamiliar men, and a woman.
Little girl. Xiaoya, look, I told you Brother Zhu wouldn't leave us behind. Now the
Situation seems like the zombies outside have blocked Zhang Yaozu's way back, so they let Huang Mao set a fire to distract the zombies. Zhang Yaozu casually walked to the Zhang family's door, calling for his parents to open it. The Zhang couple quickly opened the door and welcomed them inside. However, before entering, Zhang Yaozu disdainfully glanced at his family's less than 1 meter high, low courtyard wall. Then, as if deep in thought, he rang the doorbell. In our house, Dad went back to the second floor. Zhang Yaozu returned, bringing 3 young men with him. Dad, we need to be careful, the Zhang family was just saying. Mom happily came up holding a cardboard box, which surprisingly contained a nest of
Little chicks. I found this earlier in the orchard. I don't know whose hen ran into the orchard and made a nest to lay a clutch of eggs. I had your dad find a heat lamp to keep them warm, and they've been in the kitchen corner ever since. Today, I heard chirping and remembered to check on them.
Laughing and discussing the chicks' parents, the clouds in my heart cleared a bit. Fortunately, the Zhang family's house is only 1 story, so we can observe the whole view of their place. If they try anything sneaky, we can detect it immediately. After lunch, I went back to my room for a nap and woke up to find it was already past 7 in the evening. It was then that I realized the phone was disconnected and the power was out, likely because the fire at noon damaged the wires. Luckily, our house has solar power. I walked to the second floor living room where Dad was holding binoculars, looking towards the village center. After a long silence, he finally spoke.
He sighed, saying that before the fire started, I could still fool myself into thinking everyone was living well like us. So many years of being neighbors, I
Felt a mix of emotions. There was so much straw piled at the village entrance, yet Zhang Yaozu and his group insisted on setting houses on fire. With Zhang Yaozu's return, I resumed my nights of monitoring and guarding. We managed to get through to the 6th day of the zombie outbreak without incident, and our family gradually adapted to life in the apocalypse. Mom tended to the vegetable garden and chicks daily, while Dad, after fixing an old radio, became engrossed in tinkering with various old items to pass the time. Unfortunately, this peaceful scene was shattered at dusk. The girl from the Zhang family, named Xiaoya, rushed to our front door in tattered clothes, crying, "Is anyone there? Please, help me. I was tricked into coming here. Please open the door. I got them drunk to escape. Please, once they wake up, I'm done for." The 3 of us were calmly having dinner, and despite her hoarse cries outside, no one responded. Over half an hour later, after we finished dinner, Xiaoya finally lost patience, picked up a stone, and fiercely threw it at the window. Unfortunately, the glass didn't even get a scratch. She angrily turned and left. Not long after, the Zhang family's window opened, and intermittently,
voices could be heard. Mom and Dad, are you sure the Chen family has food and supplies? Xiaoya cried and wailed for a long time, but no one paid attention to her, so it must be true. Since last month, the Chen couple has been bringing large bags of stuff home, including rice and flour, and they lied, saying it was fertilizer. Why would they bring fertilizer home instead of up the mountain? Also, when their daughter came back, her car was packed full of expensive snacks from the supermarket. It must be that this girl lost contact.
"You old hag, what nonsense are you spouting?" The 2 started arguing, and the more they argued, the fiercer it got, attracting 2 wandering zombies. The zombies had already climbed over the low wall of the Zhang family and were about to rush into the house. I held my breath, silently hoping they'd bite them. However, the men inside quickly grabbed hoes and shovels, rushed out, and knocked the zombies to the ground in no time. My heart sank. With their combat skills, how can we possibly fight them? Over there, Zhang Yaozu swaggered out and called out to us over the wall, saying, "Brother Chen, I know."
You're at home. I mean no harm. Right now, your place is the only one with a store and food for miles around. You wouldn't want to see us starve, would you?
As he spoke, he reached for something at his waist and placed it on the wall. Wow, he really did it.
A wooden gun. So, Brother Chen, how about it? I put a lot of effort into this and it's not bad, right? We're neighbors and I don't want to borrow money. So, I'll give you 10 minutes to open the door and let me in. Otherwise, if I have to come in myself, I won't be so polite.
As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Mao drove their car to the base of the wall, and 2 of his underlings brought out a ladder. The ladder was made of aluminum alloy, wrapped in layers of cardboard. Zhang Yaozu climbed up the ladder and looked down at the yard.
The whole view. Oh, you've even planted vegetables, huh? Brother Chen, I've dismantled countless electric fences in Southeast Asia. This is our experience.
Son, hurry up and dismantle it. Why should they hide and enjoy the good life while we barely have anything to eat?
Brother Zhu, these people have electricity, so they must have hot water. We haven't bathed in ages and we stink. Hurry up and cut the wire so we can have a proper wash. Zhang Yaozu took out a pair of modified large pliers. I quickly told Dad to stretch the electric fence to its limit, while I grabbed a rake and stood by the wall. Mom also came over with an axe. At this moment, Zhang Yaozu suddenly stopped.
His hand. Huang Mao, you do it. Brother, this is your job. Stop talking nonsense. I'm your big brother. Do you hear me? My Huang Mao.
Having no choice, he climbed up. He held the pliers tightly. Can you do it, brother?
Don't you trust me? Of course I can. Hold on tight.
The electric current crackled, tearing through the evening's tranquility. Huang Mao fell straight off the ladder. Xiaoya screamed and rushed over. Brother Zhu, you said nothing would happen.
How was I supposed to know? Last time I saw them dismantle an electric fence, they were fine. Stop crying, damn it.
I'll avenge him. Before long, the noise outside gradually subsided. At night, I anxiously watched the monitors while Mom and Dad sat on the sofa, none of us feeling sleepy. Sure enough, by midnight, they made their move again. They piled firewood around the outside of the wall. The dry wood was set ablaze, and in the firelight, Zhang Yaozu's face was illuminated. We rushed downstairs to put out the fire. Suddenly, a few cold raindrops hit my face. It's raining. No, it's snowing. The snow fell heavier and heavier, quickly turning into a blizzard. The flames outside the wall were swiftly extinguished by the falling snow. It seems even the heavens are helping us. Zhang Yaozu and his group slowly retreated. We can't just sit and wait for death, we must fight back. Suddenly, I had an idea, but the snow was too heavy. We had to stay inside and wait for it to stop before we could carry out the plan. The heavy snow gave us a few days of peace. Dad caught all the tilapia from the fish pond and grilled them to perfection. The Zhang family next door kept cursing all day, but we pretended not to hear, shut the windows tight, and lived our own little lives. But what must come will come. If we don't deal with the Zhang family, we'll never have peace. When the snow started to lighten and most of it began to melt off the roof, the plan could finally be set in motion. In the middle of the night, a sudden fire engulfed the Zhang family's house, without warning. To make the fire more intense, I used up almost all the gasoline left at home, and sealed all the doors and windows with burning screens. By the time they realized, they were already trapped in a sea of flames. My parents and I stood by in the yard with hoses at the ready. Tonight, I had carefully checked the wind direction to ensure it wouldn't blow towards our house. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dared to take this risk. Even so, we stayed in the yard to guard against any unexpected changes. Finally, it was over. I hugged my parents and cried tears of joy, and for the first time in a long while, I slept soundly until I naturally woke up. I went to the yard. Mom was cooking in the kitchen, and Dad was in the vegetable garden pointing at the plots.
He was gesturing about planting tomatoes in the spring and setting up bean trellises over there. This year was supposed to be a bountiful year.
Yes, a timely snow promises a good harvest. As long as this little yard remains, my parents and I will surely wait for the day when help arrives.